that woke nonsense isn't nonsense. And they want to hear that. I mean, Trump is changing America in the last 2 days, like overnight. And look, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff, but the leftists, they invited this by overreaching on the other side. He's getting rid of all DEI. Well, they went too far the other way. They put DEI everywhere. They left the border open. Like you look at the chart for like this president, like Clinton and Obama and Bush, it changed. Trump, it changed very little. And then Biden, of course they're going to like overreact to that. You know, they invited it on themselves. So, yeah, I mean, in recent years, it's been great because I get that crowd. But yeah, there were times when I was in San Francisco. I hate to pick on them, but there are places that are very wokey, thinking, God, I wish I was in Alabama.
All right, everyone, buckle up because Bill is at it again. This time he's tearing into Democrats with none other than country superstar Luke Bryan watching it all go down. Now, if you thought politics and country music don't mix, think again. He's got some spicy takes on wokeness, free speech, and why comedy just isn't the same anymore. And trust me, Luke Bryan's reaction, chef's kiss, priceless. So, if you love a little political chaos served with a side of twang, let's dive in. And hey, if you're enjoying the ride, smash that like button. It helps keep these unfiltered takes coming your way.
Because that crowd laughs, but they're not pretentious, you know. They're basically liberal, but they're not too politically correct. And comedy is not politically correct.
Yeah, I mean,
or else it's not comedy. You know what I mean?
My grandfather was a Southern Democrat. I mean, that was just what he was.
All Democrats used to be, I mean, all Southerners used to be
Democrat. And
Kennedy changed that.
And, you know, I remember it was just, you know, that was a thing. And then growing up in a Republican household, I mean, it was, but man, you know, it just, I don't know. In the South, I don't think we really care that much.
No,
I mean, we just want to wake up.
Right.
We just want to wake up and.
First of all, people have to understand politics mostly comes out of like your personality and where you were born and raised. You know, it's just deeper than just we're the good people and anyone who thinks differently isn't. It's just not that simple. It's just so annoying, that attitude. And I live amongst it because this is the epicenter of it, Hollywood, that terrible attitude. But yeah, most people just, first of all, they don't want to think about it at all. When Biden got elected, that was really his big pledge was, if you elect me, you don't have to start, you don't have to keep thinking about Donald Trump and all this stuff. Of course, that was a pipe dream because Trump never went away and then he won in the election again. So he never stopped thinking about it. But most people, they would like to stop thinking about politics because it doesn't really, in their view, affect their lives. Government can help their lives. They usually don't recognize when it does. They very well note when it doesn't. But basically, would they even know who was president a lot of the times? In many households, not. And they want to just get back to that, you know? And I can't blame them. I can't blame them. It's too on people's minds. They put it in their social media.
People only notice the government when something isn't working. Like, nobody ever wakes up and says, wow, the roads are really smooth today. Thanks, infrastructure bill. But the second a pothole eats their tire, this country is a mess. Same thing with elections. People act like voting is some dramatic life or death moment, but most of the time, they just want to not think about it. Honestly, if Biden's 2020 campaign was just, please, for the love of God, let's all take a nap, it would have been the most relatable political slogan ever.
They put it in what they write on Facebook, and so we're always like cockfighting each other.
Yeah,
you know, like making, and we, you know, like we don't have to. We can just talk about murdering animals. Which I'm not against if you eat them.
Well, and like I said, back to what we were saying, man, it's hard to get everybody together on the same stuff in this country. And it just takes time and it takes work. And
so what's it like playing LA?
Man,
where do you play here?
Well, I played Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, that's a big arena.
Several times.
That's great.
I played the Dodgers Stadium,
Well, that's big.
which was
Dodger Stadium. Wow.
Dodger Stadium. I mean,
You know, if
so
you're-
that goes back to what I tell you with New Jersey. And I mean, thinking New Jersey and then coming out here and playing Dodger Stadium, I was like, it was just so trippy. I got into cycling, and I cycled up a big hill that morning and stood out over the stadium looking down, and I was like, damn, that's Dodger Stadium, and I'm playing it.
anytime you're playing a place whose last name is Stadium, you did well.
Man, it
It all
amazing.
came out in the wash for you.
Gosh,
Do
crazy.
you ever like worry? Like, because I always feel like music is, the muse is sitting on your shoulder. And sometimes he sits there for one hit. You've heard that term, one hit wonder.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like you, and, not just you, but, he's there for a while. But you just have to worry, like, is the next one going to come? Because it's not something you can control completely.
No, I mean, you just do your best to try to write a great song, and
But you actually try. You don't wait for it to come.
well, I do that also. I take songs. I love the songwriting community in Nashville, and the fact that they can send songs to me, and so I love trying to record a little bit of Nashville's what their songwriting community has. But so yeah, it's you wake up every day trying to make great music, and sometimes you
Just because it's a fickle industry.
well, it's tough.
And you can't, right.
And with kids on Idol, man, they're up there singing in front of us, and we try to get them to this level and that level, but man, they got to go to work after that, or it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what you worked as a comedian, and then look at, I mean, you do one funny joke
What?
on TikTok, and then you're a funny comedian, but you did
Right.
you did a million bad ones.
I did. I had my version of playing those rock and roll bars that you played.
Right.
I played a million small clubs. I played bars, which is not even a place a comedian should be. I played with no stage, standing on a floor with sawdust on it, I mean, oh yeah. But you had it, I had it. It's the best thing in the world that could happen.
So good. And I had fun the whole way. I've never not had fun.
Oh man, this whole you can't control it completely thing, that screams politics. Because let's be honest, running a campaign is basically like trying to write a hit song. You can have the best message, the best strategy, but at the end of the day, the crowd decides what sticks. One day, you're a chart-topping sensation. The next, you're polling lower than a third-party candidate on a bad day. And that whole bit about overnight success? Yeah, politics has its own version of that. Some random person goes viral ranting at a school board meeting, and suddenly they're a Senate candidate. Meanwhile, there are lifelong politicians grinding it out in town halls like comedians in dive bars, waiting years for their moment, only to get upstaged by some dude with a TikTok rant and a trucker hat. Also, can we talk about how fickle both industries are? 1 minute, the people love you. The next, they've turned on you faster than voters realizing their favorite candidate just raised their taxes. It's all about momentum, timing, and, let's be real, sometimes just pure dumb luck.
I mean, I think it was more fun for you than me. It's less fun for a comedian in that stage.
Really?
Yeah. I think music, even if you're in a little shitty place, first of all, girls still come for you. It's a comedian, you're just a loser. And very often they're just not listening, or,
In that stage of,
yes, it's a sacrificial lamb kind of a thing.
God, you spent how many years having to,
Not that many in that really.
but you learn,
It just,
that's the only way
it
you
just
can learn.
toughens you.
It's the only way you can learn to,
Yeah.
I mean, man, you had bad shows,
Oh, yeah.
and no one was videoing them. Jesus, could you imagine if they'd have videoed them, those bad ones?
Yeah, well, that's one reason I got off the road just now, because, I mean, among other reasons, like, I don't trust the crowd anymore. Everyone is just out there to get a scalp. You know, they tell them to turn the phones off. Now, you could collect the phone. Some people do that, but I really don't want to do that to the audience. Most of them, I feel like it would be an insult. I feel like my audience are my friends. They could be my friends. They think like me. It's just not something you would get from just a random sampling of the people out there. So I don't want to insult them like that. But, you know, every once in a while, or somebody who's directly hostile to you can film your show, take things out of context, and also you're pushing boundaries. You know, he crossed the line. Yeah, that's my job, to cross the line. And how do I know where the line is sometimes until I cross it? You should thank me for crossing the line, and every comedian who does it.
Right.
But I don't.
You
You know
have to
what?
cross the line.
You do. Look at Johnny Cash.
That's what he had to do.
I crossed. No, I walked the
I
line.
walked the line, but man, God, you look
Did
at
you
the
ever
mark.
see? Have you ever seen Walk Hard?
You know, I never.
Funny. It is the funniest. You if you haven't seen it or saw it once, watch it.
Was it John C. Reilly?
Yes.
You know, that's
Yes.
probably his only movie I haven't watched from top to bottom.
And that's a wrap on Bill roasting Democrats while Luke Bryan just sits there trying to figure out if he's at a political debate or a roast battle. But seriously, he makes a point. Politics is way too in your face these days. And if we're all going to be stuck arguing online, can we at least get some better insults? If you enjoyed the madness, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments. Was he spot on or did he go too far? I'm ready for the debate. See you in the next one.